I didn't find out my friend was lying to me for years. I found out because he accidentally sent me a screenshot of a group chat that I wasn't supposed to exist in. This happened last year. I had a friend I'd known since high school. We talked almost every day, played games together, shared memes, and complained about life. I genuinely believed we had one of those friendships that just works without effort. After school, our lives went in different directions, but we stayed close online. That actually made the friendship feel stronger, like we chose to keep it instead of being forced together. He was supportive, encouraging, and always acted like he had my back. For a long time, I never questioned anything. If something fell off, I brushed it aside. I trusted him. Then small things started to change. Sometimes he wouldn't reply for days, then suddenly come back like nothing happened. Other times he'd cancel plans at the last minute with vague excuses. Whenever I asked if something was wrong, he said he was just busy or stressed. I believed him. I told myself I was overthinking. A few months later, he introduced me to some of his other friends online. We started playing games together occasionally. They were polite, but I always felt slightly out of place. Conversations would pause when I joined. Jokes would reference things I clearly wasn't supposed to know about. I assumed they were just inside jokes. I didn't want to seem insecure, so I stayed quiet. One night, everything changed. We were chatting like normal when he sent me a screenshot. He meant to show me something funny, someone said, but he forgot to crop it. In the corner of the image, I noticed the name of a group chat. It included my username, but it wasn't flattering. It was mocking. At first, I thought I misunderstood. I stared at it for a long time, trying to convince myself it was a coincidence. So I asked him casually what that group chat was. He didn't reply. Minutes passed, then an hour, when he finally responded. He said it was nothing important and immediately changed the subject. That didn't sit right with me. For the first time in years, I didn't let it go. I asked again, more directly. He admitted that group chat existed. He said it was just a joke between friends. He said they vented sometimes and my name came up occasionally. He promised it wasn't serious. I asked why I was never told. He said he didn't want to hurt my feelings. That answer hurt more than honesty ever could. Over the next few days, moments I had ignored started replaying in my head. The awkward pauses, the sudden silence when I joined calls, the feeling that something was always happening just out of reach. I realized I hadn't been part of the group. I had been the subject. A few days later, one of the others messaged me privately. They said they felt guilty and thought I deserved to know what was really going on. They didn't send screenshots, but they explained enough. The group chat had existed for years. They complained about me, mocked things I said, and shared moments out of context. Sometimes they exaggerated stories just to make me look worse. It had become normal to joke about me when I wasn't around. What hurt the most was learning that my friend rarely defended me. Sometimes he stayed silent. Other times he joined in. He had helped build a version of me that wasn't real and let others believe it. I thought back to all the times he acted supportive in private. All the times he reassured me. I realized I had trusted someone who lived a completely different version of the same. Friendship. I confronted him one last time. I told him what I knew and asked why he stayed friends with me if he felt that way. He said it was easier than dealing with confrontation. He said he didn't think I'd ever find out. He admitted he didn't know how to stop once it started. He apologized, but it didn't feel like regret. It felt like relief. After that conversation, we stopped talking. There was no big argument. No dramatic ending, just silence. At first I missed him. Not the real version, but the version I thought existed. Then the anger came. Then disappointment. Eventually, acceptance. What stayed with me wasn't the betrayal itself. It was how long it went on without me noticing. How someone could be so consistent while being completely dishonest. I learned that familiarity doesn't always mean loyalty, and consistency doesn't always mean care. Sometimes the weirdest part of a story isn't the moment everything breaks. It's realizing how much of it was never real to begin with.